Doesn't matter. We sat on his back. He was going to die anyway.
Yep.
That's what they're doing. They're covering it up. This is Karenread vibes, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Two different stories. But one thing they both got in common, they're covering the shit up. Cops are going to cover for cops. But the difference is we didn't see what happened to John O'Keefe. We can only get specialists and experts to break it down and show what didn't happen and what did happen and what could have happened. We witnessed this right here. We witnessed it. We all seen it. We heard a man scream.
Live.
Be easy with that boy because he got issues. Be easy with that boy. Make sure you be easy with that boy.
You can hear the cop. We know. We know.
It's right there. When he goes, "Help, help," sound like he's being suffocated right there.
You know, it almost looked like that dude in the red wanted to help him. You know, it looked like that dude in the red wanted to help his ass. Jigga looks scared there, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This one's explosive.
Let's go.
Static Selector.
Get the fuck away from him. Just get away from him.
Dude, he's seen the cops swarming him and coming down the street. I mean, you gotta think in his head, man, he's probably saying, fuck. Like, they're taking me down.
And like I said, at that point, the cop grabs his walkie-talkie and he hits the panic switch. And when they show up, that's it. They don't want to talk about what happened. They're there to lug you, put you up in the Superman, and Superman your ass to the fucking holding cell.
Yep.
Pick you up like a suitcase. Throw you right in. The setup has begun, ladies and gentlemen. They arrested a crack dealer who lives in assisted living.
You know, we were speaking on this the other day. And, you know, we talked a lot about mental health and awareness and shit with it, which, you know, definitely still could be the case. You know, after seeing that interview with the news, you know, the Commonwealth once again painted a different picture of this dude. It brought drugs and shit into this matter. You know, we weren't thinking drugs the other day. You know, we didn't know what it was. But clearly, without starting to really creep into it and say, shit, you know, oh, he smashed his head twice. He hit the fucking concrete. Like, no blood on his shirt. Hat ain't crooked. Fucking dude's still running down the street. I mean, to me, he was having an episode. And I think I'm going to stand back behind that. I mean, and, you know, I think he was having a, you know, psychosis. Like, he was fucking schizophrenic and he was off his meds and, you know.
That boy, because he got that boy. You heard? Be easy with that boy because he got issues. Be easy with that boy.
It's a blazing day out and it's a summer July day Haverhill, Massachusetts. It seemed to me he didn't want no smoke. That's what it seemed to me. If he was smoking crack, one would assume he would take that shirt off. He would have his hat off. It's a long sleeve dress shirt. He would have a wife beater on. You see the way homeboy used to look, right? So I mean, like, he might not look exactly like that now. The point is, still mentally, he's not hiding his body, right? So which means is he was chilling. He had the white shirt on. He had his hat on. He had the fit on. I don't think he was doing all that. His mindset was like, let me get dressed and look nice with this fit, to smoke crack, to hit my head off a fucking car, bang my head off the sidewalk. It doesn't look like that to me.
And run 3 blocks.
He doesn't want to run. Who wants to run? It's hot outside. You already know, damn, maybe I shouldn't have wore this shirt today. It's way too hot for this shit. But hey, maybe it was his day off. He wanted to look fly.
Be careful.
I'm just saying, look at him. You didn't see him hold his head once. Did you see him grab his head once? This is no different than the Karenread case, ladies and gentlemen, the way we're breaking this video down. Because one would think if you just smashed your head off the concrete or smashed your head off the bumper, there's going to be one time you're going to grab your head.
Hell yeah.
You're like, God damn, that shit hurts, police said. On Monday, police said they saw a deal in which Hurley sold crack cocaine to another person while on Water Street near a market basket store. The buyer in the incident, Kenneth Melanson, 60. Kenneth Melanson, 60 years old, admitted to police that he did buy 2 bags of crack cocaine from Hurley and provided police with Hurley's phone number. Solid dude he is, huh?
So what? They're thinking he had an overdose? I mean, when you listen to what just went down there with that article, I mean, if he was dancing with the devil a day ago before this even happened and something was in his system, they would have used that shit too.
They're saying the dude sold crack, but he lives in an assisted living house. They're saying that the crack is going to, when the autopsy comes out and he has crack in his system, they're going to say it was the crack that killed him. We did our job. We got the crack dealer. He's off the street. We didn't mean for this to happen. It was the crack dealer's fault. But you can't prove it. You can't prove that. Do you got him on film smoking the crack?
They're just pointing the finger, J.F.K.
Right, but they're going to shape it up. There's going to be a judge, a trial. Like, this dude's going to end up pleading out. The guy, Joseph Hurley, there's a witness saying that he got crack from him. Someone's going to go down. This guy, now this is the parallel to the Karenread case. The guy, Joseph Hurley, probably did sell him crack. Probably not the most solidest thing to do. But this is what goes on in the streets. Now,
so how credible
and if he's
how
the
60-year-old witness? Yeah.
It don't matter. He's in the scope. That's what I'm saying. They're putting this like real nice. They're going to get a conviction, and the cops are going to get away scot-free. One thing you could parallel it to is corruption. You're seeing what happened. This time you've seen what happened. With John O'Keefe, we didn't see what happened. That was behind closed doors. We seen what happened in real time. And now you're going to see in real time how they.
So we get to trust the fucking words of a fucking decorated crackhead.
Mm-hmm. And he lives in assisted living. Figure that one out. Assisted living. He ain't doing too good for himself selling crack, I'll tell you that. What you got to understand, most crack dealers nowadays, this is not crack in the 80s, man. This is not selling crack in the 80s and the 90s where people made profit. Most people who selling crack now buy enough crack that they could smoke themselves and sell the rest to re-up and continue the fuckery. You got to be an addict to know addicts. Nowadays, the drug dealers are drug addicts. So they're just arresting another drug addict, making it seem like he's a drug dealer, when in reality, the dude ain't nothing but a drug addict that gave him some crack. You don't even know if he sold it to him. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know it was a deal? Because he gave him a couple of bucks. How much money was there? How many grams
Right.
was it?
Gigliotti official cause of death has not yet been released. Court documents show that 43-year-old Joseph Hurley was arrested yesterday on a charge of distributing drugs. Hurley is being held on $50,000 bail tonight.
The setup begins.
Yep.
Francis Gigliotti was running away from the police. They didn't arrest him on site, which means is they didn't have a case against him. They got a phone call about a dude acting erratic, allegedly. We want to see them 911 tapes. We want to see them terror tapes. Was it even a 911 call, or were you guys seen him and you targeted him? We don't even know if there was a 911 call. You said he bashed his head off cement, bashed his head off a car. He's got a white shirt on and his hat still on his head. Is someone straight out of their mind smoking crack? You think he had the time to pick up his hat? He'd be bleeding all over the place, blood everywhere. You don't bang your head off the cement and not bleed. So you're saying right before you guys ran up to him, he banged his head off the cement, smashed his head off a car, tried to tackle somebody. He still got his hat on. His clothes are white. There's nothing wrong with his clothes. It looks like was something you said. He might have got high, broke his sobriety. We don't know. That could have been the first day of his sobriety broken. If that's the case, that might not even be the case.
That might not even be the case.
That might not even be the case. Be clear. The point being is, the police know this too. They populate the recovery centers in the city that the city gets money and funded for. The police show up and say, hey, this is a good direction. You know, instead of before they go buy crack, they could come to the recovery center, sit down and have some outreach. This is great. So they know that. So if he had any of them signs, regardless if it was just straight mental health or he took something, then why are you guys edging him on? And why'd you chase him down like a coyote to a little rabbit in the city? Why'd you want to exterminate him? Because in the end, that's what happened. And they should be held accountable based on their policing. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like that was proper procedure? Fuck no. Excessive force? Yeah. It didn't need to go down the way it did. Personally, I think he probably would have fucking still been alive if he made it inside that restaurant.
It does not look like he wants any part of him. And then why is she chasing him down? Like he just...
No, he's got his hands up. He doesn't look like a threat. You know what I'm saying?
There's not a stain on that shirt. You're saying he just banged his head off the cement. There's not a stain on that shirt. Where? You know, we're gonna pick everything apart about this. You said he banged his head off the cement. Okay. And he still got his hat on his head. His hat didn't come off, and he's not bleeding, and he got a white shirt on. This is giving Karenread vibes all over again. The cover up. We arrested somebody. We got the right people. Just look the other way.